In this demonstration, we are going to design a website using serverless architecture. As we know, in our day-to-day infrastructure, we pretty much have many servers to host our applications. And it is very important that these servers has to be planned very well. In case if you have a much workload, you need to take care of scaling. To ensure the high availability, you need to go ahead and replicate the servers and ensure the fault tolerance. Now, these are going to be burden for a day-to-day application maintenance. Can I go ahead and decrease this burden? Is there any way? With AWS, as a cloud provider, they provide serverless way of doing the same. Now, what does that mean? We don't care about server. We only care about our application and whether my application is working well or not in serverless. AWS has many services like SNS, SQS, Lambda, SES, S3, DynamoDB as a serverless services. Now these serverless services will help us to build and design best applications that are possible without worrying about planning, scaling, high availability and fault tolerance. As a part of this class and demonstration, we are going to build a website which is purely serverless. And this website is going to be static and will be collecting the data from the users. Now this website is like a feedback system, and this feedback system will not have any authentication. However, because we need to write the data to the DynamoDB, we'll be using Amazon Cognito Identity Pool. As my DynamoDB has to read the data, it's important for me to ensure that I have identity pool that is created using Cognito, and then Cognito is going to have an IAM policy. This IAM policy has to be written by us. Let us go again. The beauty with Cognito is by default it can also generate the default authentication as well as unauthentication policy. So we'll be using S3, DynamoDB, Cognito, and IAM. We can also go ahead and do the extension for our project. If you want, you can go ahead and use Amazon QuickSight for actually creating a summary of the survey results, or you can go ahead and do a visualizations like bar charts, pie graphs based on the requirement. But as a part of this demonstration, we are not going to do anything on the QuickSight. Now, we are going to build an S3 static website which is going to have three parameters. The first parameter is email, second parameter is going to be city, and third parameter is going to be a feedback, that's a text box. These three details will be entered by the user into the static website, and this static website will register the data into the DynamoDB table, and the permissions between the static website and the DynamoDB table is maintained by a policy. Let us go ahead and do a demonstration. Let us go ahead and navigate to DynamoDB. Click on DynamoDB. You will be seeing a page. Click on Create Table. So this is the DynamoDB table where you can enter the table name as survey, and the primary key we are going to enter it as an email because we want that email to be very unique. And let's go ahead and add a sort key as city, because the filtration is going to happen based on the city or the analysis. Let's go ahead and create it. So a default table gets created with the name of survey with no items. Click on the items button and you can see here that there are no data, or there is no data here. Now let us go ahead to and open a different page and search here for Cognito. Click on Cognito. So this is a Cognito default page. Click on Manage Identity Pools. This is the option that we are going to use. And let's go ahead and create a identity pool name. With this pool, you're going to integrate this application. So every specific application will have a different identity pool. So my application is going to be a survey result. I am going to create the pool name as my survey result or my survey identity pool. That's better. And as it's going to be a survey, I don't need any authentication. So I am going to click on enable authentication or enable access to unauthentication identities and create the pool. So it will go ahead and throw me a screen asking me to create a pool. And now before you click on allow, again we can just go ahead and click on allow, but we will go ahead and see the details of the pool. Click on the view details, and if you observe very clearly, there are two roles that are going to be created. One role for authenticated users, the other role is for unauthenticated users. As my application is going to be a application which is like survey, and I don't need any authentication for my survey. And you can click on show policy document so that you can see what policy it is, what kind of access it has. Click on allow. So roles got successfully created, and this will show me the programming language that I need to use. So at this moment we are going to write a HTML page, so I'm going to use JavaScript. Let's go ahead and copy the piece of code. Maybe I'll store it in a notepad for my future purpose, because this code is going to be used in the HTML. Now we have two roles that got created. Let us go ahead and see what roles are created using identity and access management. Click on roles so that you can see all the roles that are created by the Cognito user pool. So here we are going to see all the roles of the Cognito. So type Cognito here. And if you observe, there are two roles that got created: my survey identity pool authentication role and my survey identity pool unauthentication role. Now, if the user is authenticated, then you will use pool auth role. If the user is unauthenticated, or if the application is not authenticated, then you will use pool unauth role. Let us go ahead and see how both of them looks like. Open them in a new link. And in case if you want your application to be authenticated, you will be using this role, one-click Cognito my survey identity pool authentication role. As my application or my current application is not going to have any authentication, I'm not going to use this. I'm only going to use pool unauthentication role, and you can observe the name here very clearly. Now, because my application needs access to DynamoDB, I need more policies. At this moment, this doesn't have permissions to read. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and attach more policies to this role. Click on attach policies. Because my application has to talk to DynamoDB, search for a DynamoDB policy. and you can see here we have a DynamoDB full access. Because my application has to write into DynamoDB, let me go ahead and click on DynamoDB full access and attach the policy. So now this role is going to have DynamoDB access, and this role we are going to consume, or the identity, Cognito identity, we are going to consume in a HTML page. So to store the HTML pages, we need storage. Let us go ahead and search for S3 and open the S3 bucket console. So this is our S3 bucket console. Let us go ahead and create a bucket. Click on the create bucket, and you are going to enter the bucket name as demo S3 bucket for survey. And as this is an S3 bucket and I am going to store a static website which has to be publicly accessible, let me untick block all public access. This will give access to everyone on the internet. And as it's going to be a website, I am ensuring that my bucket is enabled with versioning, so that in case if I wrongly replace, I can get back to the previous files. And click on bucket. Again, you need to go ahead and acknowledge to accept the current settings and create the bucket. Now the bucket is successfully created. Let's go ahead and see what we have in the bucket. At this moment, we don't have any data in the bucket. Let's go ahead and give more details. As it's going to be a static website on my bucket, so scroll down to the bottom, you will see static website hosting. Go ahead and edit the static hosting website and enable the. So I'm going to create two files. One is survey.html, which is going to be the main document, and in case if I have any errors or if the website is not available, I'm going to go ahead and type error.html. That's 2 pages, and click on save changes. Now it's time for us to go ahead and start coding. So the first important file is going to be survey.html file. So this is a code that is available for you in the LMS. You can go ahead and download it from the LMS or the link that is provided below. So if you look at this, is going to be a static HTML. We are going to write the title as survey for abc.com. Again, this can be replaced with the concern. So as I said in the class, we are going to have email, city, and the feedback that we are going to enter. That's going to be a text box. And once I click on submit button, it will go ahead and save the data into the DynamoDB. So before we need to talk to DynamoDB, first we need to ensure that our application has access to the DynamoDB. That is via the Cognito. So this is the piece of code that we have copied. So just if you see, it's already there. We just need to take the identity pool ID, copy it from the notepad, and just paste it into the given code, so that your code will have direct access to the Cognito, to the DynamoDB table via Cognito. So then once our application have access, it's time for us to go ahead and whatever the data that we took from the user, we need to go ahead and pass it to the database. And in our case, it's going to be a DynamoDB. So just go ahead and create an environmental variable for DynamoDB. And we already know that the table name is going to be survey. Just go to the DynamoDB, see that survey is the database name. Now I'll go back to my code, go ahead and enter the table name as survey, and we are going to take 3 parameters and insert the 3 parameters into the database. Email, city, and feedback are 3. And once I click on submit button, if I get any error, I have an if condition here which will throw me if some error is there, and I have an else condition which will go ahead and throw me thanks confirmation. And as I have to create the second file, I have created a error.html second file. Now it's time for us to go ahead and upload them into the S3 bucket. Go to the object section, click on upload button, and there is an option here to go ahead and upload these two files. Now let us go ahead and save these files. Till now we did not save it with the right name. So survey.html is going to be the file name for the survey, and it's time for us to go ahead and create the error.html. Click on save. And let's go ahead and add the files. Go to the folder where you have saved and select survey.html as a file and add the files. Go to error.html. So we have survey.html and error.html selected. Scroll down and click on upload button. So both of them are uploaded successfully. And it's very, very important that you ensure that there are no mistakes in your code. So go to the exit the console. Now you are in the bucket. Let's click on survey.html and you will see the object URL. That's the survey.html object URL. Go ahead and open that HTML in a page. So if you see, I don't have access to the page because I made the bucket public, but the file is not public. So let us go ahead and make both the files accessible through the internet by making it public. Now both the files are public. Let's go ahead and refresh the page. And now you see the website is available. Now there is another way also to do it. So typically we used to have the static website URL here also. Just click on that. And no need to go just like, no need to type /survey.html. Without typing that also you can open it via the object. And let's go to the permissions. The other alternative way is to even write a bucket policy. You can write a bucket policy so that whenever you upload a new file, it gets automatically public. The entire bucket will become public. Let's go ahead and write a small JSON file. So this is a JSON file which will help you to ensure that the bucket is public. So whenever you upload a new bucket, new web page, it will automatically become public. Take this piece of code, ensure that you use the bucket name, the same bucket ARN, and you see that this bucket policy has get object, and click on save changes. So now the bucket is available publicly. Go to the objects. In case if you want a new version of that, you can go ahead and upload it if you want. And you can observe, click on survey.html and click on upload. And if you go back and browse the website, it's publicly available without making it public. Let's go ahead and enter the details. I'm going to enter my email ID, city, and the feedback. Click on the submit button and you will see, yes, thanks for helping with the survey. And by this we have entered, by now we could have entered the data onto the DynamoDB. Let us go ahead and watch it. So click on refresh button. You will see the data here. So whatever the data that have entered on the web page, you can see it here. And you can share this URL to other people and they will enter the survey details and you can capture the data in this DynamoDB. So we have successfully completed this project, and here is the architecture.